welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. So someone asked if I could give a tutorial for how I do my grids for my color work, either knitting or crochet. I'm working on a free ring cardigan right now. You can see kind of updates on my social media. I'm doing a full video. Eventually it will be released once I'm done. But I figured I would at least maybe do a two-parter depending on if you guys want more. I'm going to show how I make the grid itself. And then if you want help with actually how to do the color work, or at least how I do the color work for it, I'll do a second video for that. I tried doing this in short form, too much to go over for that, at least how I ramble on. So I'm going to show you how I do that, and then hopefully that can help you for your own projects. So let's bring you down. Let's look at what we have here. So you're going to go to the site called Stitch Fiddle, as you can see. Let's bring you here. And so here you can see I've done, I play around with it a lot. You can see I tried working on free ring a lot with different gauge dimensions, things like that. I used to do other versions of her. And then here are designs I did for my crochet colorwork patterns. Some of them didn't make it. So yeah, things like that. So kind of just to give you an overview of how I use it. So when you come in here, I think you can have this for free, and I think you can do up to 15 designs before it makes you pay. I do obviously have the paid version. So you're going to go for create new, and then you choose your craft. It has crochet, knitting, cross stitch, diamond painting, fuse beads, pixel macrame, latch hook, quilt, pixel hobby, and pixel art or other. So this works for a lot of different things. So I started using it for crochet. I'm going to let you see how that looks. What kind of crochet project? And a lot of this, when I first got into it, I didn't know what it meant. And some of it I still don't. Like, I've never done corner to corner color work, which works in a diagonal. So that's very interesting, but I've never done that. We have crochet color work, if you can see here. I'm sorry, I do not screen record my screen like some more professional people do. Filet crochet, I either do freeform or crochet color work. That works best for me. And when you pick a yarn, you can pick like a hot Karen 1 pound, and they will pull from colors they know that yarn has, so that can be helpful. I don't tend to like it because it often picks colors I don't want. So I go no preference, so I can pick my own colors. And then empty chart, if you want to pixel by pixel design out a pattern. I do that a lot from like my crochet hats because they need to be small and I can make the shape the way I want it. But for my knit projects like my free run, I will pull from a picture. So if you want to convert a picture into a pixelated version, that's where I would go. Now let's go back to a knitting example because that's what I'm currently doing. And so here it gives a bunch of different like lace, cables, brioche. All I use it for is colors. And again, the yarn, I'm going to go no preference. And from here, let's say how to start from a picture. You're going to choose a picture from your computer. Let's see, I know I have free run saved on here. Let's do free run body. I think that's like her full body. Okay, you can see her there. You can see it's already kind of pixelated. This is their like default, what they think you reasonably might want. And over here you see you want to edit it as much as possible now before you say save chart, either here or here, because then you can't like, it's harder to change at least the size as I found, so edit as much as you can here. So for the size, you see you have a stitch count. You can either check how you like it here. So like obviously the higher you go, more pixels, the closer it is to actually just how she looks in the image. But most of the work you're going to be doing would be something less defined, unless you're working on a massive project, because you're going to treat each stitch as a pixel. So if you have 114 stitches along the bottom, this is roughly the outline, which is pretty good. Her face isn't showing here, but you could add in a face. But you get a good outline of her. And it also says it defaulted to 20 colors. That's generally a lot to work with. So let's say 10. 10's not bad. I like that it still keeps the yellow. And you can edit in where you don't like it. Like there's kind of just this mesh of pixels here that they didn't know what to do with, I would probably go in and edit, either just make that white or make it a shadow or just a line going through, something like that. You can edit that later. Let's go lower. Let's say we want 5 colors. This is kind of what it defaults to. 4 colors, 3 colors. That's kind of cool. 2 colors, and obviously 1 color. Looks almost the same. So let's say, what would 6 colors be? 7, 8. Sometimes I really don't know why they choose the way they choose. So I like the 10, and I'll probably manually simplify it. Like they're using some shadows that could all be made into one color. So let's say, whoa, that's 90, not 10. 10, there we go. So that's kind of the work I would do here. And so also in the size, you see I recently came across this, the gauge and size calculator. So I made myself a swatch with my knitting and the needle size I was going to use and the yarn I was going to use. So I made a swatch that was 1 inch. Stop it. Just type it in 1 by 1. And then the stitch count was, for the width was 10, almost 10 on the height, but I'm going to go 9 because it was a little crazy. And then you would measure how much for your completed project. Let me think, what was my example? The width was 22 inches. No. 18 inches. Whoa. And you see it's adjusting the stitch count over here. And then my height, let's just say 26 for this. So you'll apply it and see how that looks. So you see, since I picked that width and that height, it cut her off. I don't want that. So let's go back and fix that. So let's say 20. Well, most likely you don't want to go up. So if I do 16 wide, and let's do 18 high maybe. That's better. That's keeping her all enclosed, and you can see, you would know, okay, and these edges are going to be blank. So she's fitting in that nicely, and we have a very full scale of her. So that's obviously quite a big pattern. Say you were doing a much smaller piece. So we have our swatch, and our final our final project, let's keep it almost a square again. Let's say it was going to be 10 inches by 12 inches. Very pixelated, as you can see. And it also changed the colors automatically, so you want to go in there and simplify that. Let's see if we just do 2 colors. No. And that's where, if you take an image like this is very hard. Like, I would never use this and try to apply it to a hat. But here, if you just kind of wanted to get her silhouette, let's say, I want one that is at least outlining her. 6, 7, 8, 9, come on, 12? So here we would have an outline. And now I'm curious, let's go with that. So you see, if you did a bigger piece, what it would have looked like, and it gets harder as you, we're going to save the chart. And so in this case, I would just want it all to be one color. So let's pick the black, and we're going to go in and fill in. And I'm using the fill in tool. Here you would have the individual one where you can pick individual. I've never used the erase full stitches. I've never used that, so I'm not going to. It likes to mess with me. Come on, give me the filler. Did it pick that? And it's filling in those colors. Whoops. That one didn't work because it's exposed to the rest of the white. And so you could just go in like this, or alternatively, you go over to the colors, double click, go to color, and I'll turn it black. And hold on, I'm sorry, my mouse is making noises. I should use a mouse mat. Go to color, make it black. Oh, we don't want that one black actually. We'll keep that one. There we go. And I think if I remember correctly, if we go to edit, colors and symbols, I forgot you could do this as well. So you're going to start deleting these colors. And you say what you wanted to converge to. So we wanted to converge to the black, merge it. And so, because they're basically asking, well, then what will this become? So you go to colors and symbols, pick the color you don't want, exit, and then pick the black. So if we had just gone with the original black, we would all do it that way. So there are different ways that when you play around with it, you'll find what you can do. So this has just been me playing for months on this, and I still don't remember or use all the tools. So here I'm just like making it black directly. Almost done. Whoops. Did it go? All right, so here we would have the outline of her. Now some of it I don't like. I want her face filled in here. So what I'm going to do is use the individual tool and fill that in to get the shape I like. Like this one here, I don't know why it's there, or like I'll fill in her skirt here. Fill it out, make sure she actually has a body there. I forget what this part is. So I would also probably pull up the original image. So this bit, I guess is supposed to be her earrings, but looks odd in this version. So like I'm going to edit bits that don't make sense for this grid. I think I'll take that out. Define it a little more. This part's looking good. Maybe if you want the shape in the legs, I'm going to leave it. Or maybe if I just did that. No, well, fill out her foot more. So you could edit it away from the original. I don't like that. Maybe something like that. You can play with it, of course. You can see they're really trying to like give her those calves, but it looks a little odd to me. But, you know, you can play with it. And so, like, for an example, I think this is good enough. Although, what's going on here? Every time I pull away, it's like something else is weird. Maybe she does need that neck. Give her a little more shoulder. There. Yeah, I like that a little better. So that's an example of how to at least use this. You play around with it. You do what you want. Real quick, maybe I'll show you to make your own design directly into it. If you really, let's pick crochet color work, no preference, and empty. 20 by 20, sure. So yeah, 2020 by grid, they give us the default colors here. I'm going to pick purple. And let's say I want to make a heart. And so I'm going to try to make a heart. Let's see, this is the center of it. Could I do that? Yeah, that's a heart. And then I can fill in now that I haven't closed it. Cute. Maybe, oh, I forgot it was filler. Maybe even like that. And then if I wanted this to be like a repeated pattern, I could do a little circle or square next to it. You know, that would be repeats. So in that case, if I was going to use this and say, okay, this is a repeat, I wouldn't put it on both sides unless you want two. Obviously, I don't think I need to explain this to you guys. I'm so sorry. But say you wanted a heart dot in a hat design or something, this would be really cute. You know, just sometimes it just wants to pull things up, or if you want to add color within it, make it a little more funky, that would be fun. And this is obviously on a small scale, so if you want to do something bigger, say I wanted this also had a pink in it, it could be like that. And oh, something else I use when I use this a lot, where is it? This icon, I'm going to highlight this and move it where I want it and click. So that's also very helpful when I'm doing my own designing, where I need to move a bunch of elements I made. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you want to see how I practically actually crochet and knit to a grid, if that helps you, and do the color changes and all that. I do have a video on color changing if that helps, but I don't know if I reference specifically the grids we make. So I hope that was helpful.